Welcome to Serenity Rising, Healing with Cancer. I'm Bron Watson, and I want to welcome you to not just a podcast, but to a community, a new way of seeing, feeling, and walking through the chaos of cancer. This week on Serenity Rising, we have the most amazing guest, Barb Smith. She's actually got the Order of Australia medal. This woman is amazing. So when cancer reared its ugly head in 2004, it was the biggest shock of Barb's life. She was working in Sydney, computer tutoring at a university, and the last thing on her mind was a cancer diagnosis. She was more focused on getting her students across the line in their examinations. She had stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma with over 100 tumours detected in her body and was given a diagnosis of 18 months with or without treatment. Her determination to overcome this diagnosis has made for an interesting story. One of the reasons she and her husband Laurie moved to the mid-north coast was to have those last 18 months lived serenely in a pollution-free and stress-free environment. Little did she know that she would be in remission by 2009 and has gone on to lead a healthy and productive life ever since and helping others to do the same. So welcome, Barb Smith.
Thanks so much for having me on your show, Bron.
Welcome to Serenity Rising. Obviously, today we're here as a guest on the show. I want you to tell me about how did we get here?
Yes.
Where did it start?
What a story. So we're talking about a cancer journey. Okay, so my cancer journey started in 2004, just around Easter time. And I went to the physiotherapy and I was just getting some work done. And I said, while you're here, can you just look at this bump that I'd noticed earlier in the day?
On your neck?
Yes.
Wow.
It was like mumps, it felt like. And she said, I'll just get the doctor to look at this. And the doctor came in, he said, come back tomorrow morning. I've just got to go off now. And it's the end of the day. It was at the sports physio at Narrabeen Fitness Centre. And so I came back the next day and he said, I might just pop you up to Mona Vale. They can have a better look at you. And that is what began. So that was 2004. Then 10 days, they said, you've got stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I had all the scans, blood work, had over 100 tumours in my body.
My God. I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah.
So what happened at that time? Can I ask how old you were?
Yes, I was 48 and they said, you won't make 50.
So when that diagnosis fell, because I feel like they fall when they're given, how did you feel?
Alone, very alone. Even though I have a great husband in Laurie and he did everything he could to help me, you feel like you're the only person and it's very lonely because you want to be available and to go to all the things that are coming up, nieces' weddings and things like that. And you're thinking, well, they're telling you you're not going to be around. And so, yeah. And angry, disappointed, all those other things, sad.
So what happened next? You've got this diagnosis. They tell you have 100 tumours. Oh, my God. What happened next?
I went to get a check done on my back so they could go into the spine and do the bone marrow, but they didn't do a very good job. And so it hurt so much and I had to get them to stop and they caused a hematoma on my back. And then I ended up in a wheelchair because I couldn't walk because I was putting pressure on my spine. And I thought, I don't really like this doctor. I think he could see dollar signs. So I asked around and through beautiful friends, I found another hematologist who worked on the blood.
Yes, because this is the hematology. It is a blood cancer.
It is.
It is a blood cancer. Right. So when you got to that and you're faced with this diagnosis and what was the treatment? What sort of treatment, can I ask?
Yeah.
What sort of treatment plan? Well, and guys, just for those who are listening, we're not talking about the types of treatment. We're talking about how Barb made decisions around being given this information. So tell me about the treatment that they had in mind for you.
They had in mind a particular drug that was $20,000 a month.
Did you have to pay that?
Yes, and there was no rebate. And because I was a certain age, if you were older, it would be less. But because I was so young, and $20,000 a month, and the unfairness of it all.
Very unfair.
Yes, and I could just see dollar signs in that person. But then when I found this other hematologist, but in the meantime, I had been on the internet like we all do and research, but this was 2004, so there wasn't so much information. And then I just started to just do a scattergun approach. Anything I could do could maybe make it better and to take my body from being, say, acidic to alkaline. if I could. So by the time I got to see the hematologist, probably 2 months, and then she took some more lymph nodes from my neck, and she said, well, this is amazing. You now have 25, 30% less than what you had before.
In only 8 weeks.
Wow. Yeah.
So you chose to research and you chose to believe and find a solution for yourself. So
That's
in
right.
my world,
Yes.
we're heading into a serenity moment right there. You might call that something else. So tell me about that moment, serenity. How did that feel? What did it mean? Like, go back if you can, and you've got to think about, where did you decide that your serenity, aka that's my word, that wouldn't have been your word. You would have chosen something different. What were you thinking and what word did you choose?
Well, it was interesting, Bron, because I'd lost 4 of my family to cancer. I didn't want to be the 5th. So I've gone, okay, what else can I do for this project? Surround myself by amazing people, whether it's a nutritionist or a physio or a massage therapist, or I had, I'm trying to think, acupuncture. I did everything, anything I could, and changed my diet and went without many, many foods that were standard in the Western diet.
Worked for you?
Worked for me. It's not going to work for everybody, but for me, it's great. And then eventually, by the time I got to her, I was going then every week and getting my blood work done. And she's going, oh, yeah, neutrophils, better. And just kept going and going. She said, just hold off on the chemo a little bit longer. You're looking good. And it just kept going and got better and better and less tumours.
And now, what's that, 21 years ago? No tumours. So, people may call that curing. Some might call it remission. What do you call it?
Well, I call it a miracle because I've got my faith.
I 100%. So did you see what we did there? Love that.
Yeah. Faith. And so, I had beautiful people around the world. I had people praying for me, lighting candles and doing all sorts of things in their own churches. I had Buddhist people praying for me in their own way. I mean, anybody sending me good vibes, I just took it all.
I remember you telling me about is it left-hand turn?
Yes, yeah. And for me now turning right.
Right.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
Well, I thought I would get as prepared as I could because I'm a computer trainer. I just can't help that part. So I thought I'd get everything organised first, do my will, do my funeral, did everything so Laurie would know where it all is. And then I put in the bottom drawer and my job was to get well.
I love that. So you just did the practical, did the things you had to do, popped it in a drawer and then left it alone.
That's right, because you don't want to leave mess behind. And that gave me peace.
That, my friends, is so powerful about putting the things that you have to do in the drawer.
Yes.
And then, so to me, that's the courage to find the things you can change.
And what you can't. And not leaving mess behind for other people, and that gave me power because I've gone, well, that's sorted. Okay, now get well. And so where we lived, when I went to the shops were on the right and the health food shop was on the right and the greengrocer and whatever, and the cemetery was on the left. So I just said in my mind, everything I did was turn right. So I turned right to go to the shops, the health food, turn right. Don't eat this cake, eat an apple or whatever it was going to be, just turn right in everything. My health, get up in the morning, walk on the beach, anything I could do, get my feet on the ground instead of the concrete, so many different things.
And you used to carry the cards because you gave me those cards years ago. Do you remember that? You gave me cards to put in my wallet so that when it was an affirmation, you gave me 3 cards that went in my wallet. This is at the breast cancer stage. This is not at this one. And your job, you said to me, Bron, read them every day. Tell me about, how do you think that helps?
Well, I felt that helped me, but when I handed them over to you and you've gone, oh, this is powerful, I've gone, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that part of it. But, I love my body unconditionally and I'm getting better and better. I'm getting healthier every day.
Yes.
And saying all those things over and over in my head, as opposed to when a person of a qualified nature, maybe a doctor, would say, you've only got 18 months. And that's what you play in your head over and over.
And you do have a choice there because I think when you are given a prognosis, which is a number, I feel that I would love to think in generations to come that they no longer, that those words are never given. I know I've had a lot of people say, oh, but you want to know how long you've got. But you don't know that.
Well, how would they know? We're a unique individual. We are unique and nobody can
dictate to anybody, I know there's evidence, guys. Nurse educator, I get it.
Yes.
But I also know that the power of the affirmations of turning right. So your turning right is exactly serenity. Exactly a serenity moment.
And I think also surrounding ourselves by positive people. So I've read a lot of books, and one of the books talked about the basement people and the balcony people. So the basements are always pulling us down and the balconies are uplifting. Who do I want on my balcony? Well, not that one over there, even in a family member. I had a few family people say to me, well, what would you know? If you're not educated in the medical field, you should do everything that doctor says. Well, I've just gone, well, it's my body, my life. So whenever that person rang, Laurie was the gatekeeper. He kept them away because I just couldn't cope with their negativity. I had enough just coping with my own.
Yeah. You've got your own shit show going on. You don't need someone else's shit show.
Yes. Positive people, always uplifting people, and who would find the best in me or support me and Laurie in any way they could. That's what we wanted to do.
Oh, that's amazing. So do you keep any of those things going now?
Yes.
Tell me about your day, because I know I've seen your list that you had on your mirror that you would read every day of the things that you found, because this was your choice of what was right for you, the nutrition, the enzymes, the water, the diet.
That's right. I think the self-discipline or self-management, and it's a challenging thing to do, but then if we look at ourselves and go, I'm worth it, like that ad on TV in the makeup, I'm really worth it, you know? We are worth it. And we've got to believe that, and that we're a unique individual and we need to be around. We've got more to contribute.
We do.
And to do those things, and there's times that I do my exercises every morning, a bit of yoga, or I go and stand on the ground outside and get the early morning sunlight. And I just think, so good to be alive. You know, even when I'm feeling, I have my days, you know, that we get depressed and things like that.
Yes.
And I understand, but I just try and say, come on, girl, you can do this. And once I've done those things, I do feel better.
And I love that, because in this space, we call them the serenity moments, because you're not serenity all the time. It's not possible. Well, for me, remembering, just for me, I can't be serenity. I can't be in that space all the time. And I think that is completely normal. I know that from evidence of science and research that they tell us that is a normal response to something that happens, is to go into free fall, is to panic.
Oh,
but then I
yes.
feel that if we can, it's that space of, if there was something you could, if there was a listener that's listening here and one of our friends at Serenity Rising, what's something that you would share with them on their moments? You're right. They're your right turn, my moments. What's something that what's a couple of things that you think would be something that they could take away and start right now?
Get out in nature. So if you live in a non-beach area, be around trees, give off great energy with the trees. And then if you live near the beach, like walking on the beach and getting in that water. I mean, I swim all year at our local beach and it has been refreshing, but it's invigorating. It's like having that 10-second cold shower at the end of your hot shower. It's invigorating and is good for you, you know. And I know one of those things is preventing dementia. I'm going, I want to be old enough to get dementia.
Yes, 100%. So get out in nature. And, you know, the Japanese, they go and hug, they go and hug trees because it's medicine. It's actually medicine. And I think that it's around finding your medicine. So we were talking downstairs before we came into the studio around either an or when it comes to treatment, or the way we choose to tackle a diagnosis of something that we didn't want. And the word alternative kept coming up.
Yes. And alternative or integrative. Look, I think we've got allopathy and naturopathy with the doctors and the natural sciences and so forth. But look, if anybody even said, just lay down and we'll sprinkle fairy dust over you and that'll cure you, I've gone,
they bring on the fairy dust.
Yeah, who cares? I was open to do anything to get to a level of maybe I would need chemo down the track, if it's 1 month or 2 months, or if I could stall it for as long as I could, it's another month, and I'm thinking another year. And then every year there's new discoveries, and like now 20 years later or so.
Look,
we've come a long way.
Well, we have, but I know in the treatments that I am currently receiving, there's been such changes, and I'm so excited that changing is coming. And that's why, you know, they're calling it chronic disease without a cure. So if you were told you had a chronic disease, but there's not a cure, you would feel a lot better, don't you? Like for me, I feel energetically. If someone said, Bron, you've just got a chronic disease and we're going to manage it.
Yeah, manage it. And that's the thing of managing your day. Every day you get through another day and not going, great. And that's the thing with going without certain things. Like what I did was very radical, and it's quite hard to go without certain things.
But it was exactly right for you. So when it comes to that, the nutrition, you know, and if you do read the books such as Radical Remission, it's 1 chapter out of 9 chapters. So we want the 9 chapters. So the nutrition is fascinating, but it's got to be what's right for you. And I love the fact that you had that printed on your mirror.
And just do those things every day. But you get through 1 hour, then another, pat yourself on the back another day, another week or whatever. But that's worked for me. I mean, I was surprised as anybody when they said, well, you've got, 50% then less tumours than what you had. And I had more and more scans done. And then when I was in getting the scans, some of them are, as you know, the tests are quite amazing. You come out, and I would always say to the nurses and the radiographers and whatever, thank you for doing all that study so that you could find out to get me well. And they've gone, we've never been thanked before.
Yeah. And you know what, interestingly, when I would go into the Cancer Institute for chemotherapy, or when I was in hospital for a month with a stem cell transplant, there were times when I'd be resentful because it makes you so sick. For me, I was so sick. Not everyone gets so sick, but for me, the side effects are, I've never been sick in a day in my life with cancer. It's just all the side effects that are there for me. I would think, and I call them this, those researchers are squirreling away, working so hard. Thank you, squirrels. And I'd never say it to their face, of course, but thank you, researchers. Thank you, doctors. Thank you, Jock. Thank you, everybody, for believing enough and having the passion in what you're doing. And you know what? It's the same with any kind of therapy or any kind of treatment. It's not an alternative. It's an and. If we just and everything and then we find what's your and, like you bring that bucket together, like you found that list.
Yeah. And it was, I give out information to friends and family who've requested and just say, there's always a disclaimer.
Yeah, we're not here to cure anyone here. This is not a medical advice. No. Just saying. There's no medical advice. It's around finding a way that you 100, that's what I love, and I've known you a long time now, Barb, is that belief.
Yes.
Your belief, your faith.
Faith. And that faith that I was made by God, and maybe there's things around either man-made or not man-made that could help me live a long, happy life. So let's find them and embrace them, and to give thanks when you do.
So your last piece of advice, what's one last thing you would say to someone who could be facing what you've faced? And I'm not talking about necessarily in that absolute crisis stage, because the crisis we know is so chaotic. It's very hard to actually absorb information, especially when you go to Dr. Google. In my case, I'd go to Dr. Google and it's, terminal, incurable, it's a death sentence, all the, I'm thinking, oh, please God, don't let my boys read this rubbish. And it's not rubbish. And I respect it, but it's not coming into my space.
Yes.
What's something that for somebody who's going through a bit of a tough time?
Yeah, it's a hard question, isn't it? I mean,
it's a hard question, but
to find their peace. I mean, I found a lot of peace by being outside and being in the water, being on my board.
Well, what did it give you? What was the feeling like?
Oh, that's a great feeling. Like the adrenaline you get when you stand up on a surfboard is terrific.
I would never know. I wish I want to stand up paddleboard.
So
that's one of my goals. Actually, one of my dreams is to stand up paddleboard.
Yes. So, and having those end goals, not end goals, but goals ahead of you to say, I want to be able to do that. So and little rewards along the way, to reward yourself. Okay, you've had a yucky day. Well, you don't have to work every day. I mean, a lot of us are still working when we've got cancer and we're going, well, okay, well, maybe not work today. Maybe give yourself an early mark, give yourself a pat on the back.
Gratitude?
Very much.
Gratitude. In my case, I say thank and respect and acknowledge those serenity moments, because the moments are what make memories. They are. And that is how we make every day count.
And like with here today, how exciting. I didn't think I'd be here. Gosh,
No,
20 odd years ago.
So thank you for coming today.
I've got a little gift for you.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I've seen this book before.
Yes.
So let's hold it up so everyone can see.
So, and it's very apt that it is this week.
It's the 25th anniversary of the Sydney Olympics. So, guys, if you're watching this video, Barb is actually a volunteer. How long have you been volunteering for Olympics?
Well, since 2000, every game since. So we didn't think I'd make Athens, 2004, or Beijing, 2008, 2012 was London, 2006 Rio. Of course, we couldn't go to Tokyo because nobody could, with COVID. So, all those games and all those memories and fun and so much excitement I wouldn't have had.
But you have, and Laurie's written a book. So this is a book written, it's called The Volunteer Experience, Living is Giving. So is that not apt? Thank you so much for my gift. I love this. So what's your next goal for your volunteering?
Well,
because it's not any old volunteering, guys. It's a Olympic volunteer. We are sitting in royalty.
I don't think so. Well, we don't know about America, but we should be LA. So 2032 will be Brisbane, but we will be going anyway. And if we could volunteer as some advisor, that would be nice.
And you've actually still got your volunteering buddies, haven't you?
Oh, yes. We get together 3 times a year, and particularly now this week.
Well, it's 25th anniversary.
Yes, which is the 15th of September.
Wow. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of Serenity Rising. And tell me around, how can people contact you? We will put your details in the link, in the actual recording of the links. Tell me about, if people want to get in touch with you.
Maybe email, do you think would be?
Yeah, we can put your email there. So guys, Barb helps a lot of people in information. And you gave me information, you gave me books, you lent me your books. So if anybody is interested to hear about what Barb has done and believed with her right hand turns,
yes,
I can email you. Is that okay if they get in touch with you?
If they email me, that would be wonderful. I'd love to help because nobody knows how it feels.
Yeah, it sucks. Doesn't it? It sucks. Don't cry because I'll cry. But thank you, my darling. Thank you for coming on and being a rising, shining star in our community.
And thank you for what you're doing. This is just going to go gangbusters.
I appreciate you. So thanks, Barb.
Oh, good on you.
Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been great having you here. And what I would love you to do is leave a comment or ask a question using my fan link below this episode and on every episode that we post. I would love to hear your thoughts, your questions, and I'll get back to you. Have a great day and bye for now.